What's up, everybody? This is Jackhammer2711 coming at you today with yet another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Avengers series / Odin Build-A-Figure series Sentry action figure. This action figure is produced by Hasbro. And of course, as I said, it is part of this this kind of new method of rolling out Marvel Legends. It's been very successful for Hasbro thus far with, you know, trying to tie in some comic-based figures with lines based on their upcoming movies. This first series of the Avengers Marvel Legends Infinite series is comic heavy. There's not a movie character in the wave, which is really cool. And it's really awesome to get Sentry here because, as many of you know, he's one of those lost Marvel Legends. He was originally scheduled to be the running change figure he was paired with Hyperion as a running change. It was never released. So we're finally getting him here in action figure form. I already have him out of the packaging. A lot of these Marvel Legends packages, there's excuse me guys, there's really not much on the packaging that just really is necessary for me to go over. So most of these Marvel Legends that I'm going to be reviewing from here on out, I'll have them out of the package already. But Sentry did come packaged with the Odin Build-A-Figure arms. Now, of course, there is a not really a running change, but a kind of a companion figure to this. In the figure of Machine Man, who we'll be taking a look at a little bit later, that comes packaged with the All-Father Thor arms. But Sentry does come packaged with the Odin arms. And those are already, you know, on the Build-A-Figure. We'll be taking a look at the two Build-A-Figures and comparing them a little bit later on down the line. But just taking a closer look at Sentry here, he's a really nice action figure. He does use that Hyperion buck. So he's on that bigger male buck that Hasbro uses that we first saw on the Hyperion figure. Ironically, it was intended to be for Hyperion and Sentry, but we're just now getting Sentry here. Just taking a look at that face sculpt. Man, he has a really nice face sculpt. Sentry's kind of a morose character, very tragic, and that is conveyed in that face sculpt. I mean, just very stern with the pupilless eyes. He's basically Marvel's answer to Superman. Sentry's Bob Reynolds, and he got his powers by becoming addicted to a pill that gave him superpowers. Unfortunately, as a side effect of this, it also splits his personality into that of the Sentry and the Void, who is the Sentry's biggest foe. A lot of people, it's kind of a controversial character, especially because he shares so many powers as Superman. And the way he was introduced is kind of sort of an April Fool's type joke. He was originally said to be a forgotten character that was discovered and going to be reintroduced. And that all turned out to be false. It was just part of the whole thing that, you know, Sentry caused everyone to forget who he was so he could get rid of the Void, and when he returned it. But it was a really good idea, really well executed whenever it came out. But a controversial character. I mean, ultimately he was, you know, kind of sort of the big bad in the Siege storyline. You know, he's that very iconic, famous, graphic fight between him and Ares where he rips Ares in half. You know, that this is the character that did it. But just taking a look at the action figure, it's a really nice action figure. I really like the buck that they used for him. It's very nice. Some nice, you know, paint job. It's, you know, he's got these details on his costume are painted on there, as are these details here around his arms. And his boots down there. He's got that kind of a dark blue, not really a navy blue, almost a really dark bluish green. You know, that runs throughout the costume here, and then of course around his wrists and his boots there, as well as on his cape on the back, which is removable. It's just very easily unplugged from this hole and then plugged back in. Very easily done. The bulk of his costume is this yellow color, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera. The lights might be washing it out a little bit, but there is a really nice wash to this. It kind of darkens the paint kind of across the legs and the chest there. Also on the arms, kind of a darker yellow wash to it. That I think comes off really nice. Is it a little bit unnecessary with the wash? Yeah, maybe so. But I think it does kind of give it a nice depth that it might otherwise lack without it. He also does have this separate belt piece here of the, he's got the kind of bluish belt there with the big belt buckle there on the front with the stylized S for Sentry. Almost kind of like an off-white sort of egg white color on the interior of the belt, and then the belt buckle itself is painted in a nice metallic gold color there. So really nice. Just taking a look at the head sculpt again, it's a really nice head sculpt. The sculpt of the hair is really well done, as is the norm on these Marvel Legends figures. The sculpting, since they've taken over from Toy Biz, has really been stepped up here in the last few years by Hasbro. No different here. Some really nice sculpted detail there in the hair. It does have a nice wash over the blonde hair, kind of almost like a brownish red wash to kind of bring out more of a dirty blonde color for the character. But this is a really nice action figure, a really nice representation of the Sentry in my opinion. I always really like the character. I like this action figure because it's a great representation of that character. Just going over articulation, the head does go side to side like this, all the way around really if you want it to. It does look up about that far, not too much, and then it does look down somewhat there. He does have an ab crunch there. It goes about this far forward. Not really hindered by the... Oh yeah, it was kind of hindered by the belt. It does crunch very far actually. And then it goes back quite a bit as well. You know, if you take that cape off, you can really get him bent backwards really nicely. Just straighten him back out there and put his cape back on here. The arms, they do go all the way around there. They go up about this high, then back in. There is a twist here at the bicep, so they go all the way around at the bicep. Double jointed elbow, you get a nice range of motion there. There is a twist here at the wrist, so it goes all the way around there, and it is hinged to go about that far down and about that far up. He does swivel at the waist. Belt kind of gets in the way a little bit, as you saw it popped up a little bit, but it will swivel all the way around at the waist. He does have some really nice leg articulation. The legs go about that far forward. Really nice range of motion. Only about that far back. They do go out to the side about that far. He does have a twist there at the upper thigh. Of course, double jointed knees. Really nice there. He does have a swivel here at the top of the boot. And also hinge there at the ankle. And he does have that really crazy Hasbro ankle pivot, as you can see there. So that's the Sentry, guys. Actually, the belt actually, I didn't realize that. Whenever I was articulating him, the belt actually came off. So the belt will come off of the figure. I didn't realize that it was removable, but as you can see there, it has a pegs in right there. So I'm impressed. I actually hadn't realized that. Go ahead and just plug that back in there. So that's really cool. I didn't realize that. Really nice. But anyway, there you have the Sentry. Really great action figure. I dig it. I like it. Sentry's one of my favorite characters that have been introduced here in what you would probably have to consider the modern era. Not just because of the character itself, but the way he was introduced I thought was really original, really cool. I think by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee, if I'm not mistaken, were the creators of this character. But anyway, this has been my review of the Marvel Legends Sentry figure from their Avengers Odin Build-A-Figure wave. I did get this figure at Walmart. It was $19.96. Since then, I've seen him hit my Walmart store again, and also at several Toys R Us stores. They've been in abundance there. So this wave has hit. It's no secret. Most people have seen this by now, but this is my review of him. As always, rate, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Jackhammer 2711, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.